This is Spinnaker 3 here with the Summer of Pain solo, and today I'm going to be using Ghost against the current Darkhawk. Now, what makes this Darkhawk tricky is that he only throws his special one, and his special one is fully unblockable. But they do give you steadfast buffs to counter this, which allows you to block unblockable specials. But luckily, Ghost has this thing called a phasing mechanic, and the phase can actually let me bypass Darkhawk's entire special. But there's a really interesting trick that you have to use. You will only phase through the entire special if you are close to Darkhawk right as he launches it. So you notice that I do 4 hits and then I just hold block. And the reason for that is because if I dash back and then Darkhawk throws the special one, I won't actually be able to dex out of the whole thing. And I'll end up taking quite a bit of block damage. So instead, what I'm trying to do is I just hold my block, and as soon as he throws the special one, then I dash back and I get the phase through the entire thing. And the reason this is nice is because if he throws the special one, I phase out of the whole thing, no problem. But let's say he doesn't throw the special one, right? What happens then? Well, I'm able to get a parry right away, and then I dash back to get my crit passive, and then I counter back in to get a critical hit. And this allows me to deal a lot of damage while still mitigating the amount of damage that I'm taking myself. And my goal here is just to hold on to my specials. I really don't want to throw any kind of specials just because it's going to get pretty bad in terms of his auto block mechanic, which can get a little frustrating. So I prefer sticking to this whole 4-hit combo and then hold block, because he does one of a couple of things. He either hits right in and I parry and I get that critical hit, which does some nice damage. He either throws a heavy like he did right there, which allows me to get an easy opening, or he throws his special one, which allows me to dash back and phase out of the whole thing. So if you take this fight, I recommend playing this a little differently than you usually play your Ghost, and that's to use that 4-hit combo that I'm telling you right here, because it really makes him throw his special or hit right in, which allows you to mitigate the amount of damage you're taking back. You notice that throughout this fight, we're going to be trading blows left and right. Sometimes I do miss the parried hit, and I end up just having to block it and re-parry on the next one. You definitely will want your re-parry skills as well. But you notice the steadfast buffs keep piling up because I'm not really using them to escape out of the specials. Right here, I did have to use a couple. They provide a nice safety net in case I accidentally dash back and miss the timing that will get me to have the full thing phase out. Because you notice right here a couple of times I do have to block because I dash back right away. And that means that I won't be able to phase out of the whole thing. So if you're going to be using Ghost for this fight, I definitely recommend either boosting big. This is my rank 3 Ghost with no boosts and no recoil tree masteries, which definitely makes it a lot more different of a fight than if you're using like a rank 2, or if you're using with the recoil tree masteries, it'll definitely be a lot easier. Here I even end up eating a combo. So my health is already doing pretty poorly in terms of the health war between me and Darkhawk. So I'm really just trying to play this fight a little more safely. I really need to take as few blocked hits as I can. Right there, I take it fully on the block. So I need to make sure he's throwing special ones, because special ones, as soon as he throws it, I get an immediate counter attack, which is just super helpful for increasing my amount of damage. You know, even though I'm not throwing my specials with Ghost, which is what you'd expect, I'm still able to deal a considerable amount of damage in this fight, just because those guaranteed crits really do help shape up my damage for this fight. So as sometimes you notice, if I miss the timing just ever so slightly on the special one, I'll dex out of the last beam hit just for some extra safety and then counterattack. I'll show you when it happens if it happens. But for the most part, it's really just getting that muscle memory down of parry and then dash back, dash in, because that's not something I'm really used to doing. Right there, I did the dex out of the last beam, but I'm not really used to playing Ghost in an unusual fashion. So it does take a little bit of time trying to train the muscle memory to parry and then dash back and dash in really quickly just to get that critical hit. You don't really need it. You could do the whole thing without critting. It just makes it a much slower fight, as you can imagine. So it is very nice. You see, I miss it here. It's hard to train myself to not do it, but I try to do it as much as I can. So here I'm able to bait out the heavy attack. Darkhawk's heavy is tricky. You can't actually fully evade Darkhawk's heavy with a single dash back. But the nice thing about Ghost is that I can do a single dash back and phase the other hit of the heavy like I do right there. You see the miss trigger in the left hand side? that means I was able to phase out of the last hit of the heavy. So it does give me really good spacing. There, I accidentally mess up the timing because, like I said, sometimes my natural ghost habits do kick in a little. And, whatever. I just have to take the blocked hits and hope that I survive out of this fight. Now, the reason Ghost is great for this fight, apart from the fact that, she can literally phase out of the entire special, is that she's also a villain. So this is helping me get the villain objective. I don't have a Magneto, which is probably the single best option for this fight. So I was forced to get a little bit creative. And I guess Ghost isn't really that creative. You know how great Ghost is. And I was kind of surprised that this Darkhawk boss even existed, just because Kabam did say they were trying to design the fights to be a little more Quake and Ghost proof, but I'm pretty sure both Quake and Ghost work for this Darkhawk fight, but it's whatever. As soon as I finish up with this fight, I'm getting pretty close to the end, but the one issue that you probably have seen is that my health is getting very, very low. So I just really need to play this safe. So luckily he throws his heavy and I don't have to go for a blocked hit there. He throws his special one, so I don't have to block anything here. And I'm getting him so close. I just need one more special one bait, and then I should be almost good to go. There's 3% left. I get the parry. I get the 5-hit combo, or the 4-hit combo. I get one more 5-hit combo, and I finish it into a special 3, and this should end the fight. So if you enjoyed this fight, please let me know. Leave a like, comment on who you use for this Darkhawk boss, or if you use Magneto or Ghost, and subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll catch you later.